to you. You can place your feet crisscross applesauce, or I like to place my heels on top of each other. You can take your hands on your knees, palms facing up or down, and just find whatever a comfortable seat needs to and close your eyes. And let's start breathing. Inhale and exhale. You can close your mouth and start breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, just slowly trying to create more space in your lungs, more space for that air to move in and out. Then you're going to take your chin and bring your chin into your chest. Feeling the stretch on the back side of your neck. Let's do half circles. Your right ear comes to your right shoulder. And then your left ear comes to your left shoulder. You're just going back and forth. Just feeling that stretch on the side of your neck. We're not doing full circles right now, just half circles. And then when you're ready, come all the way back to center, chin in the chest. And then go ahead and come up and blink your eyes open if they were closed. Let's inhale, sweep the hands all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, left hand comes down, right hand goes up and over. Do your side body stretch. You can look down with that hand on the floor. Let's move all the way back up to the top. And then the other side. Right hand comes down, left hand shoots up and over. Let's come all the way back up. Both hands come up. Bring your hands forward. Clasp your hands together. Rotate the palms out. Round the back, look in between your legs, and press your palms away from you. And release everything. Shake it all out. We're going to twist. So you're going to take your right hand, place it onto your left leg. Right hand, left leg, left hand, back behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Look over your back shoulder. Come all the way back to center. Left hand, right knee. Right hand comes back behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Look over your back shoulder. Come on all the way back, and then we're going to make our way into a child's pose. Whatever a child's pose means to you, or however you would like to get into that pose. I like to rock over onto my knees. Bring your knees about as wide as your mat. Let your toes touch. Sink your hips back to your heels and reach your fingers forward. Child's pose. Just breathe in here, letting your chest sink down to the floor. Come come up just a little bit, and then we're going to walk our fingertips off of the mat over to the left-hand side of the mat. You can stay on your fingertips or you can plant your palms down, but we're going to collapse over that left thigh, stretching the right side body here. And then come up just a little bit, and we're going to do it on the other side. So back through center, over onto the right-hand side of the mat. You can stay up on the fingertips, or you can drop down onto the palms, but collapse your chest over the right thigh. Come all the way back to center. We're going to make our way into a downward facing dog. So plant the hands, spread the fingers wide. Go ahead and come up kind of through a tabletop with the toes and hike the hips. Downward facing dog. Shoulders are away from the ears. We're feeling a stretch as we sink our heels down and pull our chest towards our thighs. You should have a lot of space in your neck to shake your head yes and no. Little by little, we're going to walk our fingertips back to our toes. Take your time, little steps, until you find your way in a ragdoll. So we're sinking down. We're going to grab opposite elbows. Let your head hang, look in between your knees, and maybe you sway, maybe you stay still. Whew. I feel tight on my back body. We're just folding here. And one vertebrae at a time, rolling yourself all the way up to stand. When you get to the top, roll the shoulders back and exhale. Whew, feels good. Okay, let's come to the front of the mat. Let's come to the front of the mat. Place your feet hip-width distance apart. Spread your toes wide. Hands by your sides. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up to the sky. Look through your fingertips. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Reach for your toes. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Hands up and look up. Palms face each other. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Let's go again. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Reach for those toes. Look in between your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, arms up, hands up. Look in between the fingertips. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Let's add on. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold deeper. This time, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into your plank. Just let it move it, it's fun. Hold here. Drop your knees, untuck your toes, elbow pins facing forward. Lower down. I forgot to do this naked. Lower down all the way. Roll the shoulders back. And inhale for a baby cobra. And then when you're ready, you're going to press up and back for a child's pose or a downward facing dog. Okay, I can't do it with you on me. You gotta get off. Hey, I gotta get off so that I can do it. Press up and back. You're probably already there to a downward facing dog or a child's pose. Hang out here. And then when you're ready, we're going to bend our knees, come up onto our tippy toes, look in between your hands, and step to the front of the mat. Doesn't matter how many steps it takes you to get there. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Hands up, you're up. Exhale, hands come to prayer. It'd be a good time right now to take a sip of water. Okay, when you're ready, keep your hip width distance apart, hands by your sides. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way to the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Reach for your toes. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold deeper. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into your plank. This time, you can drop your knees or you can keep them lifted. Shift forward onto your tippy toes, chaturanga down. You can do a baby cobra here or a full cobra. You're pulling forward with your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Up and back. Inhale the right leg to the sky. Open up your hip and just let your foot come behind you. We're not doing anything crazy here. We're just feeling our body right now. Go ahead and put that foot back down. Let's do it on the other side. Inhale, left leg up. Open up the hip. Let the foot come behind you. Go ahead and drop that foot back to the floor. Bend the knees. Come up onto your tippy toes. Lift between your hands and step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hold deeper. Inhale yourself all the way up to the sky. Hands up, look up. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold deeper, bend the knees, plant the hands, and step or hop through your vinyasa. Make your way into a downward facing dog. Let's inhale that right leg to the sky. And then we're going to exhale and step the foot in between the hands, high lunge. So get yourself situated here. Your front knee is right over your front ankle. And then your back heel is lifted. Squeeze your thighs together. Come all the way up. Again, we're situated. We like our stance. We're sinking our hips down. We're pulling our back thigh to the back of the room. And then go ahead and inhale, lift the hands. Breathing here. We're reaching our hands higher to the ceiling while we're trying to root ourselves down into the ground. Breathing here. Let's take our hands and clasp them behind our backs. Roll the shoulders back, pull the knuckles down to the floor, getting a good shoulder stretch. Maybe we look higher. Unclasp the hands, lift the hands back to the sky, plant the hands to the floor, but stay here. This is where I want you to focus on the stretch. So maybe you walk that foot to the outer edge of the mat. Maybe you stay on your fingertips. Maybe you drop down to your knuckles. Maybe you're like, Brie, I'm so flexy. And you can lower down to your forearms. I stay on my knuckles. We're sinking our hip while we're shooting that back thigh to the sky. Okay, when you're ready, let's go through a vinyasa. So plant the hands, step back into your plank, chaturanga down. Scoop the chest forward, baby cobra or full cobra. And then flip the toes, pike the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands. High lunge, but get situated here. Front knee over front ankle. Back heel is lifted. Find a good stance. You're strong. Stand all the way up. High lunge. Breathing here. And then when you're ready, the hands come up to the sky. So that back thigh is driving towards the back of the room while simultaneously trying to sink deeper and then getting longer through the fingertips. Let's take our hands and clasp them behind the back. This time, do a funky clasp. So the opposite thumb that wants to go, put that thumb on top. Roll the shoulders back, pull the knuckles down to the ground. Open the chest, maybe look to the sky. Go ahead and release the clasp, bring the hands up. And then exhale, hands come to the floor, but we're gonna stay here for lizard. So walk that foot to the outer edge of the mat. Sink your hips down lower and just hang out here. All we're working on right now is the stretch. When you're ready, let's pull into that vinyasa. Step back, chaturanga down. Scoop the chest forward. Baby cobra or full cobra. Flip the toes, hike the hips, downward facing dog. Breathing here, pulling our chest towards our thighs and our shoulders away from our ears. Inhale, sweep that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands, high lunge. Come all the way up. Breathing here. Let's twist this. Left hand comes forward, right hand comes back. Look over your back fingertips. Can we reverse this? Woo, it feels good. Twist, up, and back down, vinyasa. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands, high lunge. Find your stance. Come all the way up. Okay, ready? Let's twist this. Right hand comes forward. Left hand comes back. Look behind your back fingertips. Let's reverse this. Whew. Okay, windmill those hands back to the floor, vinyasa. Okay, when you're ready, bend the knees, come up onto the tippy toes, look in between your hands, and step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deeper. This time, let's hang out here. Clasp your hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale the hands high. And then bend those elbows. Unclasp the knuckles and pull all the way down. Inhale, roll yourself up to stand. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale. Okay, now is a good time to take a sip of water, or if you're like me, coffee, and take a little breather for a second. We're going to do a balance pose, tree pose. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find ourselves on our mat. If you find it hard to do balance postures, if you find it hard to do balance postures, you can grab a chair or you can stand next to a wall. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to plant one foot down, spread the toes as wide as you possibly can. Use the chair if you need to. The other leg isn't doing anything crazy. The other leg is just making sure that you can stand. Can I balance? You can drop it. Can I balance with only one foot on the ground? Not two. And then when you feel comfortable, you're going to open up your knee and put your heel right above your ankle. Your toes are on the mat, your heel's right above the ankle. You're trying to keep your hips facing forward while your knee is opening up. If you feel super balanced here, like, okay, Maria, I got this. Maybe you're holding onto the chair. See if you can come up into the shin. Hi, baby. If this is where you stay here. But if you feel like you can come higher, we skip the knee. I want you to see what I'm doing. Right now I'm on the calf. I skip the knee and I come up into the upper inner thigh. Once you're here, you try to not do this. So try to bring your hips back to center. Maybe you have the chair to help. Back to center, and you're using your core to hold yourself tall and strong. Maybe you hold onto the chair. Maybe you bring your hands into prayer at heart and center. Maybe you bring your hands to the sky. Maybe you close your eyes. What I love about tree pose is it really teaches us how to root down no matter what we're going through, no matter the weather that is around us. There could be a tornado outside or a hurricane, depending on where you're at, or it could be blowing 40 miles an hour just because that's what it does every day at 3 o'clock. But we root our feet down into the ground, and it doesn't matter the weather that's happening around us. It doesn't matter the chaos that's happening around us. We are sturdy in our tree pose. And that's the goal. The only goal is to try to be sturdy in our personal tree pose. Go ahead and kick out of it. Wiggle those toes. Shake everything out. Let's go to the other side. So the opposite leg of whatever leg that you just did. Spread the toes wide. Plant the foot into the mat. So we're rooting our roots down from the tree that we're trying to grow. Just make sure, like, hey, this is possible for me today. Can I play around with having one foot on the ground? And then we always start, even if you're like, girlfriend, I can put my foot all the way up here, we always start with our toes on the ground because today's a new day. Ooh, cool. And then when you're ready, maybe you try that calf. So this is nothing on the ground. Maybe you're like, Bree, this is where I need to be. Maybe you can grab that ankle, put your heel. So I don't know if you can't really see because of my leggings, but my toe is far past my knee. My knee's down here. My toes are above my knee, and my heel is up at the top of my leg. What we don't want to do is kick our hip out. So we want to pull everything in. And balance. So one leg is obviously going to be stronger than the other. That was probably the leg that you started with. So the second side is probably going to be harder for two reasons. One, you probably started with a stronger leg. And two, you're already a little bit tired because you already did this. So we're just doing our best. If we fall out, we giggle, we laugh at ourselves. Yoga is not that serious. It is not that serious. Maybe you bring your hands to prayer at heart and center. Maybe you grow your branches tall. Maybe the wind starts blowing. You sway your hands. Again, it doesn't matter what storm is coming. We are grounded. We are rooted. We are balanced. We are balanced even when the toddler tries to push us over. But that's why we have the chair here, just in case. Yeah, do you want to do with me? Oh. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead and kick everything out. Shake it out. Let's go ahead and come to the top of our mat again. Put your chair back if you took a chair out. Take a sip of water if you need it. Let's come to the top of our mat. Feet hip-width distance apart, toes will spread wide, hands to the outsides of our hips. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Look in between those legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold deeper. Bend the knees, plant the hands. Vinyasa. You can hop through your chaturanga if you want to. I was going to, but my toddler was like, nope. Chaturanga down. Scoop the chest forward. And find your way to a downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Our chest is gravitating towards our thighs. Our shoulders are away from our ears, and we can very easily shake our head yes and no. Inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands. High lunge. Breathing here. Inhale, hands come up. Hey, I'm doing yoga. Left hand comes forward, let's twist. Can we reverse? If you popped out of that, go ahead and drop back down. You see I popped out of it a little bit? Come all the way back to our high lunge. Bring your hands behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Shoot the fingertips behind you like somebody's pulling on them. We're going to lean forward. Lean forward. Lean forward. Maybe our back foot comes off the floor. Maybe we're like, we're going to need that chair again. So you can go get it if you need it. Reaching the fingertips back. Pulling the heel back behind you like somebody's pulling on it. Maybe your fingers come forward. Woo-hoo! Warrior 3. Maybe they come to prayer in heart center. As a mother, you start to hear the noises of the house. He was in the dishwasher. You've been holding this for a long time. Go ahead and re-find your high lunge. Reach the hands up. And then exhale, vinyasa. Hands come all the way down to the floor. Step back into your plank, vinyasa. Let's go to the other side when you're ready. Left leg comes up. Step the foot in between the hands. High lunge. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Let's twist it. Can you get out of my frame with the kids? Reverse this. If you popped out of that with your knee, like I did, see if you can sink back deeper. Let's come back to center. And we're going to come into that airplane pose. Roll the shoulders back. Pull the fingertips back behind you. Shift forward. Shift forward. We're going to start to take flight. Woo-hoo. As your chest comes down, your heel comes up. We're shooting our fingertips behind us. Shooting our heel behind us. Maybe we bring our fingertips forward into warrior 3. Oh, maybe our hands just come into prayer heart center. Breathing here. Maybe we stay in airplane. Maybe we grab that chair. See if you can gently float back into your high lunge. And then plant the hands into the mat. Vinyasa. Inhale, sweep that right leg to the sky. This time, pigeon. Right knee comes to right wrist. Left leg steps back. Untuck those toes. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you lower down to your forearms. Breathing here. Where you're singing, you kind of notice that you can't really see because my pants are the same color as my mat. All you can see is like half of my foot. But we're sinking our hip down and getting a really nice stretch right here while trying to get our back thigh. See that? We're trying to get our back thigh backwards. We're just breathing here. We're just getting a good deep stretch after some sweat that we got. Okay, when you're ready, come all the way up onto your hands. Untuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Find your downward facing dog. And then maybe you bring that foot through and you open up the dog. Just get a good stretch. Drop that right foot down. Let's come into the left side. Inhale, left leg up. Bring that knee to the left wrist. Drop your back knee, step it back. Untuck your back toes. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you lower all the way down to your forearms. When you're ready, come all the way up onto your hands. Untuck your back knee. Untuck your back toes and lift your back knee. Downward facing dog, but go, keep going and open up that dog. Drop the foot and then find your child's pose. Drop to your knees, sink your hips back, and this time bring your hands back behind you and grab your heels. Okay, go ahead and come all the way up into the seat. We're going to come into a wide-legged stance. Like so. Pull your toes towards your shins. Inhale, your hands come up. Then exhale, come forward. Okay, this is my most hated pose. I hate this posture. If we are allowed to hate anything in yoga, this is the pose. Because I don't go anywhere. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to fold. And the folding doesn't happen. So you can grab the shins. If you can reach the toes, you can grab the toes. You put your hands out in front of you, or if you're flexing like seeing your forehead touches the floor, go ahead and let your forehead touch the floor. But this is just a reminder. Yoga is for everybody. Literally everybody. Whether my nose is touching the floor or whether my nose is not moving at all, this is totally fine. But all that we try to do, all that we ask of you in every yoga pose and in every yoga class is to use your breath to find some space. And if you find some space, use your breath to use the space. So we inhale, we expand our lungs, we find some space in our body. We exhale, we collapse our lungs, for lack of better terms, and we fold. We inhale, maybe there's a minuscule more space that I can find. And then I exhale, maybe I can use that space. I inhale, I expand my lungs. I exhale, maybe I found a little bit more space. Now we're not going inhale, exhale. We're just finding these little movements with our ribs. Okay, go ahead and come all the way out of it if you were super deep. We're going to bend our right knee and put the sole of the foot on the inner thigh. Normally when we fold, I'll have you take your chest and rotate it towards the straight leg. But this time, I want you to take your chest and I want you to rotate it towards your bent leg. We're going to inhale, hands come up. Exhale, side bend. How do you find those toes? If you can find the toes, great. If you can't, just go ahead and grab your shin. We're going to open our chest. So we're looking over that bent leg. Free hand goes up maybe and comes over. If you're like, whoa, but that is way too much stretch in my side body, your hand can stay onto your hip. If you can reach your toes, you take your peace fingers. And you wrap them around your big toe. And then you close the clasp with your thumb. Okay, let's come back to center. Let's go to the other side. Straighten the right leg, sole of the foot bends. So we're taking our chest and we're rotating it towards our bent leg. Hands come up. Right hand reaches. Where do I find? Do I find my toes? Do I find my shin? Do I find anything? If I can find my toes, I'm going to take that peace clasp. Left hand, free hand goes up and over. If you're like, whoa, that's too much stretch, hand comes right onto your hip. But we're trying to keep our chest open. And we're trying to feel a real big stretch right here. And maybe I'll look over that free shoulder. The only thing we don't want is like this. That's what we don't want. We always want our nose and our eyes to be facing the way that our collarbones are facing. Breathe in here. I don't know about you, but this is an insane stretch for me. And when you're ready, go ahead and release the clasp. Oh, let's find butterfly pose. Take the soles of your feet together. Bring your heels as close to your body as what's comfortable for you. And you can figure it out. You don't have to be like, oh, that's the spot and I can't ever move again. You can kind of figure out and play with your body. I like to clasp my hands around my toes. You can put your hands around your ankles and let your balls of your feet open up if you like. This is just what I like. Roll the shoulders back, open up the chest, take a big ol' inhale, and then exhale, see if you can fold forward. Again, if your nose touches your toes, that is totally cool, but if you were like me and you don't really go very far, that's fine too. All that we're after here is stretch. That's all we want. To inhale, to find the space, and to exhale, and maybe be able to use it. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead and release and make your way onto your back. When you get to your back, go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. All the way over to the back. Hug our knees into our chest. Whew. Rocking back and forth, side to side, drawing little circles with your knees. Just giving yourself that back massage that you deserve for waking up and doing the yoga class. I am so proud of you. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of my husband and my kids, and mostly leaving us undisturbed during this hour. If this is in your practice, we're going to try to see if we can find happy baby. Take your peace fingers around the toes and bring your heels to the sky and your knees to your armpits. If you're like, breathe, no way in HE double hockey sticks, that is happening. That's okay. Just stay in your hugging your knees into your chest. That means that you're getting a good stretch. If the peace fingers around the toes doesn't feel good, you can always grab the outsides of your feet I've also seen people grab the insides of their feet. That just doesn't work for my shoulders, but whatever hand placement works best for you. Hey, you can also put your hands behind your knees. That works too. All we're looking for is a stretch here. When you're ready, go ahead and come back to knees hugging into the chest. Bring your arms out by your sides. And we're going to drop our knees over to the right. And we're going to look over our left fingertips. I'm not too concerned with your knees touching the floor here. What I am concerned with is your shoulders staying glued to the ground. So if we got our knees down, but we're open like this, see if you can maybe lower your knees closer towards your toes and kind of put that shoulder back onto the mat. What I love about this stretch is you get the chest stretch because you're opening your arms really wide, but then you also get that outer leg stretch. You're twisting. You can use your hand under your knee if you'd like to, but go ahead and bring your knees back to center. Take a big inhale, and then exhale, lower them over to the other side. Again, if you got those knees down, but then that shoulder shot up, go ahead and adjust your body so that maybe your knees a little bit farther away from your heart, but then your shoulder can rest onto the mat. That's what I'm more focused on. And then if it feels good, go ahead and look over those right fingertips. When you're ready, come all the way back to center. Hug those knees into your chest. Maybe even bring your chin up to your knees. And then exhale, release it all down for our final resting pose. Shavasana. Breathe in here. Your arms out by your sides. Your legs open. Just let's take a check for our bodies right now. Are our eyebrows scrunched together? If so, unscrunch them. Is your jaw clamped down? Go ahead and unclamp. Is your tongue on the roof of your mouth? Go ahead and remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Are your shoulders just instinctively up to your ears? Go ahead and relax that. Are your hands in fists? Are your butt cheeks clenched? And then are your feet relaxed or not? Go ahead and wiggle your toes and just make sure that your feet and your ankles are relaxed. And then come back to the top of your head and let every piece of your body that's touching the floor melt into the floor. Become one with the floor. In my case, one with the kitchen tile. Sinking and releasing. Maybe start to find movement in your fingers and your toes again. Inhale, reach those hands all the way up behind you. Stretch long, point the toes. Maybe you yawn, it feels so good. Make your way up into a seat, however you'd like to do that. Trying to keep your eyes closed. Sit into a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. Maybe it looks different than it did when you first started today. You can have your hands in your lap, or you can have your hands in prayer at heart and center. Let's take a big, deep breath and then let all the air out through our mouths. Yogis, friends, I see the light in you and I honor you. And my only hope is that you see the light in me and honor me back. Namaste. Thank you so much for flowing with me today. Every single Sunday at 8 a.m. We started a little bit late today because I was trying to figure out the camera and the placement. And we figured it out, so this is where we'll be every single Sunday at 8 a.m. for the next couple Sundays. And then I will be yogaing with you at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in the Dominican Republic, either at the pool deck or in my new backyard. But we are moving to the Dominican Republic at the end of this month, so July 31st is when we leave, and then you'll get yoga from wherever in the jungle. And then in September, we have a retreat that we're running, September 19th through September 25th. And it's going to be a wellness retreat that I'm going to be the one teaching yoga. So if you like this, if you miss yoga with me, until July 15th. So if you watch this before July 15th, until July 15th, with my code BRI500, BRI500, you get almost half off, or exactly half off of the total price. If you buy after, I'll have an additional coupon for a discount, but it won't be as good as if you buy before July 15th. Yeah, if you have any questions, write it in the comments, send me a message on either Instagram, or I don't know how you'd send a message on YouTube. But on Instagram, I'm Happy Girl Bree. Yoga, I'm Yoga with Bree, or on YouTube, I'm Yoga with Bree. And thank you so much. I will see you next Sunday.